Flosstube, it's Shelly Keyx Stitch, and it's Monday, April 11th, 2022, and this is Flosstube number 6. It's been forever, so there's a lot. I finished Little Deeds, woohoo, by Scarlet House, and I actually did the whole thing, and this is on 16 count Tycho by Picture This Plus. And I think the only thing I did that was really noticeable is there's a person right here, and I took her out and put a plant in. Oh, 2 people. So I must have put 2 plants in. I don't know what I did. I guess a plant and a bird. But I love this one. It's so cute. And I really think the basket is beautiful. So yay, that one's done. I also finished Anna Grader, the part of her that I did, because I started up here and it was brown. I thought, no, I'm not doing that. And so I skipped a bunch. So this is how much I skipped, whatever this, like alphabets, and just did the numbers going across the top and then the rest of her as charted, yeah. And this is on some grunge fabric that I bought from Kitten Stitcher. So it's got the cool little grunge on it. And 16 count. And it has strawberries on it, so that was fun. And I know I did change some of the colors because this blue is old blue paint. And it's pretty bright. And there were a couple things that were different from the chart and the photo. So I don't know what I did. I went with one of them, not the other. Oh, I know. These kind of Quaker things right here. There were some down here too, and I just left them off. And I also changed the color of the flowers because they were outlined in brown, but I outlined them in pink instead. So I'm very happy that one is also done. And those 2 were part of a WIP Extravaganza, WIP and New Start Extravaganza that I did with Kim, the Contented Stitcher here on Flosstube, and she's Kim, K Goldman 63 on Instagram. And this Monday and last Monday I wasn't babysitting, and so we started a bunch of things and worked on some of our New Year's Eve new starts again. So I had started 12, she had started I think 7 or 8, and so we tried to revisit those and have new starts, and we did about 5 or 6 projects each day. So those 2, got neighbors with dogs. Those 2 were part of that. And I also revisited Jenny Brimer. And I pretty much filled in more of the hill, I think is all I did. And I had worked on some of these bunnies aside from my New Year's Eve start. And this is on 16 count doubloon by Picture This Plus. So it's pretty gold. And I know I changed one of these colors. This is like 3 different greens right there. But I think it looks good the way it is. And that one is going pretty fast, even though that part was full coverage on a hill. And then one of my new starts was What Remains, which was also a market haul by Blackbird Designs. And this I'm doing on some Vicki Clayton 16 count. I'm pretty sure it's Vicki Clayton. And all I started was the birds on the bottom. I think those are so cute how they're cute. Heather Linkus, my homeboy, was telling me everything I was saying was about how cute stuff was. I know, I can't help it. I like stitching cute stuff, so I think it's cute. I'll try to watch it though. So the birds are all a variety of birds, so that I really liked. And then this was a new start, from this Nashville cookbook, Happiness is Homemade, and it's by Fox and Rabbit, and it says needles on it, and then it has like I think it's a flower basket above it. And this is just on some Witchell linen, 32 count French lace is the color, so it's a very light gray, greenish gray. And I thought I'd try it on this. I just got this from Amazon. It's a Morgan stand. I think it's 7 and 10 inches. And it's probably not great. I thought, oh, I'll try stitching two-handed, but it always seems like these pillars were in the way. Nexie's behind the camera, so let's see how long it takes her to knock over the camera. Oh, there she goes. Where next? Just to say hello. Say hello. Good girl. She loves being held like that. She does not. So I started this, but this is about 5.5 inches, and I think that's too big for a needle book. So then I was kind of discouraged and thought, oh, why am I even stitching this? Kitty, your tail's so fluffy. She's all excited because I have the window open and it's nighttime, and who knows what she might find out there, right? This was a New Year's Eve new start that I restarted because I didn't like the colors I used, because it is really brown when you look at this. And this is a gift from my friend Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. And so I started it with the brown and the blue, and then I switched it to a brighter, to a green, and then pinks, even though this is very light, these pinks, but I think I'm just going to leave them on there. And this, I think, is I wonder if this is doubloon too. This is it's some picture of this plus that I cut off of a different one. That's not even whiskers. That's just her fur. She's got so much fur. She's like, now she's in my empty bag that I took all this stuff out of. I also revisited Mary Lindsay by Chessie and Me. And I was really drawn to this. I love all these samplers. They're small samplers with non-repetitious little motifs at the bottom and some alphabets. And sometimes I cut off some alphabets. And this is on some, oh good, I still have the tag. This is a Witchholtz French Cafe Mocha, and it's very, very soft and floppy. And on 1, 2, 3 stitch, it does say very soft in its description box. And this I worked on in between New Year's and these Mondays also. So I just did a whole bunch of motifs. I think I really just had like one bird done, or part of a bird, when I started on New Year's, because this was one of my last starts on New Year's Eve, and I didn't get very much done. But I love doing this. All the motifs are very small, go very quickly, and there's not really too many color changes in, like some of these are just one color, like this one, this one, this one. So I'd recommend this if you're looking for a small sampler and you think, oh, I want something that goes quickly. Okay, this is another New Year's Eve start, and it's Quaker Sewing Tray by Brenda Gervais. And I changed some of the green because there's just a lot of green in here. I mean, I get green, you know, like leaves and grass, but then I didn't really want all the Quaker motifs to be green. And this is on Picture This Plus Nocturne, which is a very blue-gray. And I took out this, I'd had that done in green, so I changed it. And so I had this done before, the stems and leaves and just a couple of the flowers. And so I took that out, redid it, finished the basket, and then did the house and this. And I did not work on, this is in the wrong pile because I did not work on this for our Monday's extravaganzas. I mostly worked, I think I worked a lot on this on Sunday and maybe even Saturday too. Gotta move her along. There you go, that's a good one. A Heart Remembers, I got this from Market Hall. And I had wanted to do this for so long, and I just thought there's no way I'm ever going to get all these parts to it. I had like one of the parts. It was a bonus. These were bonus charts that were part of different charts they had that they had sold. And so I decided to start this on one piece of fabric, and it's very gray. And this is on Mirage. And Mirage and Nocturne are very similar. I guess this Nocturne has more white and is more blue, but they're both about the same darkness. So I like both of them. So I started this today, and I only got that much done, just a bird, and I changed this green. I had to do some brighter colors, and the bird is actually wrought iron. It's not black. Actually, I don't even think it was supposed to be black. I think what the birds were supposed to be. Charcoal. So that was more brown black, and this is a blue black. And I changed some of the flosses. These are the flosses that are going to go in it. So I kept like the blue, but I think both of the greens I changed. And I think I changed the reds too, because I don't really like, what was the red? It was some kind of like crimson, kind of like Merlot or something, kind of like a wine color red. And I'm changing it to old blue paint. Oh no, old brick is what I'm changing it to. Oh, it used to be mulberry. That's not one of my favorite reds. And then I'm debating if I should try and take whatever Nexie's eating away from her. And I think I will. Because she can't have my hairbands. Shouldn't have been a hairband over there. Elizabeth Hunter. This was one of my New Year's Eve starts. I started like, I think 4 small samplers. You want to see what else she's got? It's a little keychain that I bought that has a bell. So it's totally like a cat toy. I can see why she likes it. Elizabeth Hunter. And I think I worked on her. Yeah, I did work on her more than twice. So I was trying to, I think I just had this when I started, and so I did this, and I was trying to get up to the top, and I'm going to write her name and then just put that zigzag border. So I'm stopping, here's her name line, and then there's a zigzag above that, and that's where, and then I'm not going to put the alphabets on her because I wanted to use this fabric for Eugenia Hoyt, which I have this much done on her so far. She was a new start this week. And this is what she looks like. She's my little, oh my gosh, Nexie. Nexie is playing with my bag that I got from Dawn. Frosty X Stitch here on YouTube. So thank you, Dawn. Nexie also says thank you. It's really pretty. It looks like black work. Let's see if I can fold it out so she doesn't think it's only for her to jump into. She'll get into something else. So this is Picture This plus Fawn, and that's what's called for Eugenia Hoyt. And so that's why I tried to figure out where the top of Elizabeth Hunter was going to be, so I could start using this for Eugenia. And she has really cute couple of alphabets above her, and they're very colorful. And it is a lot of changing color. Like the bigger alphabet has a different color every letter, but I'll just have to be in the mood for that because I did leave enough room for that. And then here's my Santas that were already on here. So I'll probably have to take that little part out, but she has room. And I was thinking this would be such a cute little pincushion, either just that much, because the bird is fantastic, or I like how it's off, not balanced and like that. So we'll see. I may be restitching that as a pincushion too, but I love both of those also. And I'm looking forward to Elizabeth Hunter because it's got some different kinds of flowers that I don't usually see on stuff. And then another New Year's Eve start that I picked up, I worked on this one today for an hour, and I worked on this another time too, because it's just a big old bunch of stitching you can do on Zoom. You turn it into a needle book. So this is on Charlotte's Pink Weeks 30 count linen, and this is a very light pink. It's not really white, but it looks white on here. And today I just filled in the windows, and then like maybe one row of white or something. I'm super slow on linen. It's pretty funny. I usually don't stitch on linen, and I think there's like 4 things sitting here that I stitched on that were linen. Then yesterday I started and finished, let's see, this. And this is from Beth Twist's book, Heartstring Samplery, her book that she just put out. This was Market Hall, gift from Cheryl for an early birthday present. So thank you, Cheryl. It was this pincushion. And this is on a piece of Fortnite fabric that I also got from Market Hall. But do I have the name of it? No, I do not. It's something, all the names were like outrageous, stupendous, you know, just very positive adjectives. But it's very beautiful. It's like taupey and gold. And so then also, after I finished that one, I also started my Al Forrest embroidery. And I ordered this before the war started, and they sent it to me, but it took so long that I actually got it after the war started. So I was like, wow, that was pretty lucky. And I'm keeping it in this bag that I also bought. This was a fundraiser that Hummingbird Hollow had done to raise some money for Ukraine. And so I, along with the pattern, I also bought their floss, which is very pretty, variegated, because I really liked, like, the girl cardinal, I think is this color. And I always think it's hard to find a color for the girl cardinal. Maybe it's this one. Ooh, that's really not what it looks like. It's more pink and orange in real life. But they are very beautiful. They kind of remind me of Weeks when I'm stitching with them. Like, they're kind of dry, maybe. I don't know. Very, very similar to Weeks to me. And so I just got a little bit of a start on it because I had to drop my car off to get tires, and you know, it's ruining the extravaganza. So that probably only got, I don't know, 20 minutes of work. I revisited this one, Spring Tiered Tray by Madame Chantilly. And I'm only doing like that. I'm not sure if I'm doing the pennants that are hanging down there. So I think I'm just doing this much. And I'm doing it on Coastal by Picture This Plus. Pretty sure that's what it is. Yes, Coastal. And I put in the outline of the cup, that flower, the bunny's head. And I really still love the daffodils on this. And this just has a backstitched hop as a word on it. So that'll be easy to fill in. The cup that looks like a Rae Dunn cup. The flowers are very pretty pinks. There's just 3 shades of pink. So I wanted to see how one of them would look, so I found a stem I had already put in, and then I did that. That's not really getting done by spring this year. And this was a market. I'm pretty sure this is a new release, but I got this with my Market Haul. I think I got this from Jen's Stitching Niche. And it is by Lottie Da, Flower Pot Roll Up. And it's very small. I'm doing this on some, it's called Selkie by Under the Sea Fabrics. It's a pinkish brownish color. And so this is how wide the roll up is going to be. That's the end of it. And this is the flap that's going to flap over. And yeah, so that's the flap right here. And I changed all the colors on it. And to me, it was a good chance to use just some kind of odd colors that don't usually get chosen. And I really like this one. This is an old one I had that's a limited edition Blackberry Pie by Gast. And it's really pretty. It's got purples and pinks in it. And then I think my reds are going to be more like Weathered Barn and Cappuccino. And I never find a use for Cappuccino either, but it's kind of a darker shade of this fabric and then a lighter pink, like a Sanguine, that I think will look pretty. And then I'm using Black Coffee for the black. And I'm doing the words in Stepping Stone, which I think is really pretty on this fabric too. I usually don't talk about, I think, the floss that much, but I just have a lot of Stepping Stone. Seems like I never use it, so I was happy. This is the Stepping Stone, the letters. Oh, and that's the Blackberry Pie. Fun. I'd love to get back to all of these. And then one of the later on things today that I worked on was this. This was a Market Haul Scarlet House Needfuls, and I'm working on this one, which just says vintage and buttons, and then you can stitch the buttons on or just sew them on. I'm going to sew them on. I didn't even realize this has a border on it, but it does. So I put it, let's see, I don't have the color sitting here. This is some Witchell stiff 32 count fabric, linen that I got from 123 Stitch. And it just has about, I think, 5 more stitches up, and then that's how big it is. It's just 5.5 inches maybe square. And this is charcoal. It's looking really pretty. And I was telling Kim that this is a Duchess hoop that I bought at the Goodwill bins. So I bought it by weight. So it probably cost me like 50 cents or something. But the felt was in good shape, but it doesn't have any tensioning or anything on it. But the whole thing was in good shape, and I couldn't believe when I saw it in there. I'm like, is that a Duchess hoop sitting in there? But I don't even really use hoops, so I'm like, oh, I should sell that. I don't need to have a hoop. Okay, so that is all of the New Year's Eve starts that I revisited and the new starts that I did today and last Monday with Kim. So quite the pile. And a couple of those were not, though. Like a couple of them were really, I worked on other times. This, I keep seeing Pam from Just Keep Stitching is working on that. Oh, my channel, by the way, is It's Only Stitching. Look, I said it right this time. This is ABC Hornbook by Primitive Needle. And this is my working copy because I have my original in my closet. And I am doing this on, what is this fabric? Fawn. 16 count. Picture This Plus. And it is going to be fairly long because I went down the side. So that's how big it's going to be. And I haven't really started doing the motifs too much. But I just, and I have to put the A up here. But I really just got going on this and thought, no, just keep going. Just do it. Because I want to cut this off because there's extra hanging down there because I think this is a yard of fabric. So that's why these started getting shorter as I went. So I think I have about maybe two more sections of little verse going across, and then it alternates verse with motifs. So I guess there's 8. Oh, there's 8 of each. So each verse talks about things that are in the row above it, the motifs that are in the row above it. And it's really been fun. This is bark, is this color, which looks really green. I was surprised. And then this is charcoal also. The big and just the alphabet is in charcoal. But this is really fun. I sit and do this while watching TV. The letters are always the same. Like every E is the same. So once you know how to make their E, you know how to do it. And the spacing is super funky. So if you mess up, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes there's a bunch of spaces between words. Sometimes there isn't. But that's how it's charted. So perfect, because if it was charted, so there's always 2 spaces between every word, I would definitely mess up and not be able to come back and fix it from, after doing all that. I worked on this a long time ago. I was trying to get this done. I still didn't get it done. Love from Above, artwork by Charlie Harper, and it was charted by Counted Collection. And it is 2 giraffes, like a mama or daddy giraffe licking the baby giraffe's head. And I dyed some Ada Gray. If you've been with me a long time, you'll know I did the 337 one is the dark brown. I did all that first, and then I dyed the fabric because I was going to do it on white, but then I didn't want to. So look how close this is. I'm doing the back stitching on it. There is a lot of back stitching though, because I really just have the eyes done. Like the eyelashes and right here done. Just not too much back stitch. I think a lot of it is back stitch, like probably all around the whole thing. Oh, and I also filled this in with that light yellow because my fabric is gray, so it looked weird. Because they just left it white on this one, or off-white. So I think I probably did like almost the whole baby's head and filled in all that yellow. And I think I probably had to fill in this part of the adult giraffe too. So I spent several days working on this, but it's been so long since I've shown you my whips because my last one was like that whip parade, and so that was even more. It's probably 3 months of whips, and I know I've forgotten a bunch of them. Oh yeah, I don't have my Sleeping Princess here either because I do a Hawk Run Hollow zoom and also Fancy Folk zoom with Pam from Stitching in the Land of Good Enough. She runs twice a month. She runs zooms. One is for Hawk Run and one is for Fancy Folk. And this one is closed, but the zoom is closed, but she might be opening it up again soon, she said. And I'm not sure if the Fancy Folk one is closed or not. So I did work on my Mira Sleeping Princess for Fancy Folk, but forgot to bring her over here. So I did work on this. And I think this is beige. Some beige Ada that's not hand-dyed. And all I did was, I think I filled in really a lot of this, a lot of the stream. So that's good for Zoom calls. And it's hard because I stopped babysitting at 4 and that's when these start my time, the Zoom. So I'm usually just like, oh, I gotta drive and I don't know, just it doesn't work out super well. But I really try to make it. This is Paulette Stewart, Plum Street Sampler's favorite font sampler. And this is the one, when I showed this, Abby says, oh my gosh, get that out. Just do it. It takes a day. So Abby, I finished it. Abby Bella Stitch. And this is on some Luminous Fiber Arts fabric, soft porcelain, 16 count Ada. Luminous Fiber Arts. Misty Purcell. And I think I chose some different colors. I think I might have chosen a different color for the fox, but there's only 3 colors in this, so it does go super fast. And I've always liked that saying. And I did change the font a little bit on, I think it's on Dog. Something I changed, I don't know what it was. I think I made it rounder. It was very pointy. So yay, another finish. So that would be cute in a little pillow like they have on the pattern picture. Then I finished this because this was super close to being done. I did this one and I did the side, and this I didn't do the tree or the basket. And it's called, is it called? No, Darling Buds of May. Darling Buds of May is the name of the chart. And I changed the colors to yellow roses because my mom had a baby sister who died and they had planted a yellow rose bush. So I thought, oh, I'll do yellow roses in her memory. So this is in memory of Carol Irene. And of course it turns out brighter. Every time I change colors, it doesn't look the nice antique look that the original does. And this I did with a bunch of Vicky Clayton silk, so it's very lustrous and rich looking. So that's another finish. And then this was not Market Haul, but this I got recently. This is March Calendar Crates by Priscilla and Chelsea, the Real Housewives of Cross Stitch, Stitching with the Housewives. And I did it on 16 count Blackboard Ada. Oh, I know what that is. And so I just changed it a little bit. Instead of spring tulips, I put frilly tulip bulbs instead of spring tulip bulbs because, I don't know, we don't really have spring in California. It's just kind of like, I don't associate tulips with spring necessarily because we don't have them coming out of the ground, but I guess if you have a hothouse, you can buy them all the time. I don't know. To me, it's kind of springy, but it's... Don't listen to me. I don't know. I made this for my sister. She really likes tulips. She wanted tulips for her, was it her birthday? I don't know. Her birthday's in December. Yeah, maybe she did want tulips, but her family just did not get the picture. And so I thought, oh, I'll give her some tulips. So I should get this over to her because I think she'll like it. They redid their kitchen and it has a lot of gray, and this is a really dark gray. And she really likes flowers. And I changed a little bit. I think I added some more pinks because I think there was only a ladybug and then another pink in here. So I added one more pink, and I added a lighter yellow than the house yellow. And I changed that to gray. The roof was supposed to be brown and the tires were supposed to be brown. Did I do the tires? Yeah. And the truck was supposed to be, what color was the truck supposed to be? The truck was supposed to be red, but I made it pink. I don't know why. I think red would have been cute. So pretty similar. And it was fun, even though there's a lot of tulips. But all the tulips were the same. Like, so that was good. It wasn't one of those tricky ones like, oh, this one, it has 3 here and 4 there, and the other one is always 5. So, oh, and then I also got this, and this is from Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine this spring, 2022. And it says Peep, and my grandson says Quack. So I had to change it to Quack, and I thought this looked enough like a duck just to leave it. Because to me it looks kind of more like a duck than a chicken. I don't know. But most of the colors, I think I just changed his. Yeah, I didn't have the right color for the bunny shirt. But most of the rest of the colors are the right ones. I know I look, I'm holding it like this. Look! The bunny's ears, I did whatever that blushing pink is called. That's Classic Colorworks instead of, it's supposed to be Tennessee Red Clay, which is it's supposed to be this color of that tulip inside his ears and stuff. So I liked him a little bit lighter. I don't know, like it even matters. Oh, and then I put Quack, and see how cute Peep is? Like they leave some of it unstitched, so that's got like a black outline of the letters. And I left it like that, so the Quack, I figured out how Quack should have a black, the fabric showing through in a little line, and then I filled it all in when I was stitching. So that was a bummer, but I wasn't going to go rip it out. And I think I showed this last time. I started this for piece, and I'm only doing this much. And wrought iron for the bunny, and stepping stone, I think is what this is, or some pebble, I don't know, something. So really all I have left to do is the rest of the bunny. So I did the arrow, and I did more of the bunny, and I'm not sure if I had piece done or not, but it's really nice. And I think this is on some antique lace seraphim or something. It's just not the best on Ada. It doesn't look like anything. So it doesn't look like it has modeling. It doesn't look much different than antique white. I wish I could remember what it was so I don't buy it again. And then I started the Under the Sea Sal from the Frosted Pumpkin. This is the 25th of each month, and I think it ends right before Christmas. So this was the first installment. That was April 25th. I started this with Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and Sarah, Stitchy Mommy. Hi Colette, hi Sarah. And we did a Zoom, and I worked it around watching my grandson. So sometimes I was stitching and listening only. This is on 16 count Nessie. And I'm sorry, Heather, it's adorable. It's so cute. Look at those little dolphins. The only thing I'm not super happy with is how yellow her skin looks, and they really did a nice job. They give you a whole page of like, here's other skin conversions you can do. But they had several skin colors listed that they're going to be using anyway. So I thought, okay, so for the first one, I'll just do it as it's charted. And I wish I had changed her skin tone. Let's see. Oh, and then on the same fabric, I had already started Beatitudes. And this I had found when I was doing my whips that were not current parade. And I realized, oh, this is what's called for the Frosted Pumpkin. So I did work more on this. I had this done and the first line of that done, so I did all of this. And it is Little House Needleworks Beatitudes. And I'm not sure how far I'm going to go. I don't think I'm doing the bottom part. I kind of like this, except for the people. I'm not really that big into people on cross stitch. I don't know why. But I figure I could do what I've done before and switch those out for more plants. See, they have trees on the left. I don't really want it to be symmetrical, even though those pots are symmetrical. These ones, I didn't even notice. These are both the same. So maybe I'll have to take out all 3 of these and put something else. But I'm almost done with the words because really there's only like four and a half more lines. And I did these words in like 2 sittings. So it goes quickly. Words go fast. And these are all, and especially when they're just single thickness, like there's only one column of stitches, and it's not like they're 5 or 6 wide. Okay, oh, so that is all of the stitching that I've remembered, and I'm sure there's way more stitching because look, I didn't even take out my planner to look and see what I should have picked up and put in my bag of, I should talk about this. So I got a couple of things for haul that I haven't shown you that are part of Market. And I didn't go pick, I got Parade of Elephants by Liz Matthews, but that's in a different bag. This one I'm just trying to figure out. This is by Kathy Barrick, The Moons of 2022. And I'm not going to put the Moons of 2022. I'm just going to put, because when you Google moons, it's almost these. There's just a couple that are changed for most commonly what they call the moons in certain months. So I'm just going to put those on and not put a year. And this is charted in NPI, and I think the blue is so beautiful. So I'm trying to figure out if I should just use Twilight, just find some kind of blue that I like, that I have a lot of, and look and see what a DMC would be. So I just haven't figured out what I'm doing. Don't really like the angel. Think all this part will go fast, this part will go slow, this part will be probably those things. Every time there's shows like this, people are always like, oh my gosh, it takes so long. But I love this. I love the little animals down there. So when I can figure out what I'm doing, I'm going to start that. Because this was really the thing I was most excited about getting pre-order wise. And then this is from Cheryl. From Stitchy Princess on Etsy. We both bought Ukrainian designer patterns. And did I have any of mine printed out that I can show you? Oh no, of course not. So this is only about, I think, 5.5 or 6 inches square. So it's not very big, and they really put a lot of stuff. She got a lot of stuff in there. And I do enjoy Alice in Wonderland. So this is going to be a start pretty soon also. And another thing Cheryl gave me, my birthday started very early. It's not until May. And so she also gave me this because I have all these recent ones. I'm not even sure. I don't think I have all of them, but I have some of the Santas Revisited that bunches several of them together. And then this is not specifically Stitchy related, but Stony Clover is this brand my daughter and I have bought in the past, and they teamed up with Target to do a run of Target specific things, and so I bought these 2 pouches. And they're also the ones that sell, like, there's big patches, and they've done Hello Kitty and Disney, and you can get them to sew the patches on for you, and they have letters and numbers and stuff you can put on them. And so I know I might have shown it before. I have a heart pouch my daughter gave me, and I have something else that I think I got a word sewn on it or something. I don't know. Don't remember. But I need to go to bed. I was just like, well, I never have time to do these over the weekend. My son and his girlfriend were here both this weekend and the last weekend, and my husband's always home. And I thought, okay, he's asleep, I'll do this. And then he woke up, so he's awake. You know, I was half expecting him to like barge in here like, well, who are you talking to? So I hope everybody is happily stitching along, and tell me in the comments or on Instagram, I'm KeyXStitch, what you're working on. I'm always interested to see that. Thanks for watching, and I hope everybody is doing well.